Good morning, students. Welcome back to the class. How do organisms reproduce? In the last class, we have learnt about asexual reproduction. In asexual reproductions, with examples such as amoeba, Spirogyra, planaria, leishmania, and even bryophyllum, and even vegetative propagation, isn't it, such as what happened banana, rose, grapes, and all we have seen. So all these kinds of organisms, they are undergoing asexual methods of reproduction, such as budding, it may be, or even what happens, there may be a extra outgrowth, isn't it, that is in a hydra, and even what happened, a regeneration we have seen, and even thereby fission and binary fission and fragmentation, number of methods which we have seen. But right now we are learning about which one, that is sexual reproduction. So in this class we are going to learn about the reproduction which is taking place mainly in a typical flower, and even reproduction in a higher animal, that is human beings. So the first one is sexual reproduction. We are also familiar with the modes of reproduction that depends on the involvement of two individuals before a new generation can be created. So here what happens, before a creation of a new organism, what happens, what is the responsibility of two individuals, and how they are going to involve in for the further development of a new organisms. Bulls alone cannot produce a new cows, isn't it? At the similar way, no hens can alone produce a new chicks. So hereby what happened, no, not even a bull it may be, or hen it may be, or a dog it may be. So whatever may be the organisms which we are having, alone it cannot produce their younger ones. So thereby what happens, in such cases, both cases, that is both sexes such as male and female, what happens, are needed to produce their new generations. For the production of a new generation in a higher organism, what happens, there must be the male and even that is female organism should be there. From those only what happen, we are going to have a new offering, that is a new generation kind of organisms which we are going to see. So what is the significance of this sexual mode of reproduction? That is a mainly hereby what happen, they will be producing the exact copy of their identical one, and even the information which is carried in these organisms, what happens, will be almost similar, and thereby certain slight variations also can be observed in this one. Why is the sexual mode of reproduction? The creation of two new cells from one involves copying of a DNA as well as a cell apparatus. So hereby whatever may be the organism which has been produced, what happen will be because of mainly because of a DNA copying. So DNA, as we have already discussed in the last class, thereby what happens, DNA will copy the information. I have even showed you the double helix model. In that one, the sugar molecules or a phosphate molecules or even nucleic acid molecules, what happen, they will carry the information from one generation to another generation while copying the information from the older one to the newer ones, isn't it? The DNA copying mechanism, as we have noticed, cannot be absolutely accurate, isn't it? So thereby what happen, we may not be the exact identical copy of our parents, there will be a certain slight differences. At the similar way, even in other organisms also, what happens, the exact identical copy of an organisms cannot be seen. There may be a slightly differences which we can result in which one they are telling DNA copying. As a resultant of errors, what happens, variations in the population of organisms can be seen. These variations will bring new information in which one, in the formation of new characteristics in a further generation of an organism. This variation also, as I have already told, is very much essential, because as the temperature fluctuates in the environment, or calamities it may be, so whatever may be the outer surroundings, things what happens are going to changes, but the organism has to adjust in the environment. Since the organisms has to adjust in the environment, means thereby what happens, our body, it may be the organism body, has to adjust to those kind of atmosphere or any changes in the atmosphere. So how do these things takes place? Only taking place through which one, that is the alteration of certain characteristics or biochemical reactions in which one, that is DNA. So that's how what happen, even for the survival of organism, variations which are very much essential. It would therefore make sense if organism came up with reproductive mode that allowed more and more variations to be generated. So more and more variations are there, means thereby what happen, even a new type of varieties of organisms also what happen, we are going to observe. So while DNA copy mechanism are not absolutely accurate, they are precise enough to make generation of variation a fairly slow process. As I have told, thereby what happens if there is no water, if there is no proper water for the survival of an organism, or temperature fluctuates or a meteorite hits, thereby what happens, a organism has to survive in that situation, but that temperature or that kind of a situation may not be able to fit for that organism. By that time what happen, the organism or any kind of a species has to survive in that area, means it has to undergo number of changes in the body formation. So what happens, whether it can be any kind of a changes, these kind of a changes we cannot be able to see within a one day or within a month or within a week. It takes number of years for an organism to adjust for that certain temperature. If these kind of a changes which are not altered in the body of an organism, means what happens for the further generation, that kind of species may not be able to see. Only if an organism is susceptible to adjust for that kind of a changes in the environment, means what happens, those species generation can be seen in the future. If DNA copying mechanism were to be less accurate, means if it is not adjusted, means many of the resulted DNA copies would not be able to work with the cellular operator and they would be die. As I told, what happen if it does not get adjusted, means the organism is going to die. Each new variation is made in a DNA copy that already has variations accumulated from previous generation. So whatever may be the generation which are processed now, what happened, they are having the information which has been varied in which one they are telling from the other older generation. Thus two different individuals in a population would have quite different patterns of accumulated variation. So they are telling whatever may be the generations we are having, all these generations, thereby what happen, will have certain kinds of variation when you compare to the older one and their offsprings. So newly what happens, you can see that is certain slight variations which will be susceptible for the birth or even for the growth of an organisms can be seen. If each new generation is to be the combination of a DNA copies from the two pre-existing individuals, then each new generation will end up having twice the amount of DNA that the previous generation had. Means a father and a mother in a human beings or whatever may be the organisms which we are having. You just imagine a mother is having 23 pairs of chromosomes and even father is having 23 pairs of chromosomes. Thereby, if they are having that is combination of male and female gametes, we will be having totally 23 pairs from male and 23 pairs from female. So totally we will be having how many pairs of chromosomes, that is 46 pairs of chromosomes. But for the birth of a human being, what happened, we must have that is only 23 pairs of chromosomes, that is only 46 chromosomes number. But they are telling if we are possessing that is both pairs, means the number of a chromosome number will increases and it may lead that is for the changes of characteristics and even certain changes in the organisms they are telling. Then how we have to solve these kind of problems, we have seen earlier that as organisms become more complex and specialized of tissues, one solution that many multicellular organisms have found for the problems mentioned above is to have a special lineages of cells in specialized organs in which only half number of chromosomes and half amount of DNA compared to the parent which are produced. Means hereby what happened, during the reproduction time we will be having certain stages, that is mitosis and even meiosis. So mitosis process and even meiosis process are the stages which we can see in throughout the body. So throughout the body means throughout the life of an organisms which we can see. So in both the stages what happens, which will be mainly helpful for which one, that is for the division of a cells. So mitosis is a process where we can see the number of cells what happen will start to increase, will be increasing, and this process can be seen throughout the life of an organism, that is from the birth till the death. What happens, we can see that is a mitosis process. But whereas the meiosis is a process which we can see only in the formation of a new organism or during the reproduction stages only, what happen, we can see that is which stage, that is meiosis. In the meiosis what happens, the number of chromosomes what happen will get reduced to half of its number, that is 23 chromosomes from the mother and even 23 pair chromosomes from the father. What happened totally, as I said, it will become a 46 pair of chromosomes. But during the meiosis stage, thereby what happened, you can see that is only 23, that is from 23 pair number of chromosomes, what happens, only half of the number, that is 23 pairs, will reduce to only 23 number from a mother and even 23 number from a father. That's how what happened, you can see that is the number of a chromosomes, whenever it gets reduced, thereby the number of chromosomes will become equal. That is why a meiosis stage, which is very much important in the formation of a new organisms during the reproduction. So that's how what happened, the number of a chromosomes, if it has to get reduced, means there must be the process such as which one, that is meiosis. So we can directly say that is half of the number of the chromosome and half amount of DNA are compared to the reproductive body cells. This is achieved by a process called as which one, as I told, meiosis. So meiosis is a process which we can see only during the formation of a new organism or during the stage which one, that is reproduction. But we are having another one throughout our life, as I said, which one, that is mitosis. Thus when these germ cells from the two individuals combine during sexual reproduction to form a new individual, it results in the re-establishment of the number of chromosomes and DNA content in the new generation. So thereby what happened, re-establishment, thereby what happened, the number of chromosome what happened will be get reduced, thereby for the formation of a new organism, this meiosis process will be very much helpful. And later what happens, these chromosomes, that is 23 pairs or 23 numbers from male and female, what happen, you can totally say that they will be helpful for the formation of a zygote. Zygote is nothing but what happened, the fusion of male and female gametes. The male and female gametes are nothing but they will be helpful for the formation of a zygote, and these zygotes are specially modified or specially modified into which one, that is tissues and the organs, and then it has have a sufficient storage of energy for doing this one. Means this zygote hereby what happen, they will be having the capacity or they have the capacities to for the storage of the food. Means for the future what happen, this zygote has to undergo number of process, that is number of cell division has to be taken place. The number of a cell division, they require which one, that is energy. So from where do they get energy? So the energy has to be get by this cell itself. That is why this zygote what happens, they will store the food for the future which one, for the future cell division. In a simple organism, it is seen that two germ cells are not very different from one another or maybe even similar. But as the body designs become more complex, the germ cells also get specialized. One germ cell is large and contain the food which stores, while the other body is which one, small and likely to be non-motile. Means here one is saying that is one is motile and another one what happens, which is big. So they are telling one is a big, means the big whatever, the big kind of a germ cell which store the food, means automatically it is a female gamete. And another one they are telling which is small in structure and which one is a motile. Motile is nothing but moving, so that is nothing but they are telling it is a male gamete. So the kind of a structures or a germ cell which is big in structure, so they are telling it is a female gamete and it is non-motile, it doesn't move. And the another one they are telling it is a small in structure and it is motile, so it is nothing but they are telling it is a male gamete. So here what happened, this male gamete and female gametes, thereby what happened, they are responsible for the formation of structures or for the development of a new specialized cells or even new organisms which has been formed. Conventionally, the motile germ cell is called male gamete and the germ cell containing the stored food are called as female gametes, as I have already told. So here what happens in the coming chapters, what happen, we are going to learn what is the contribution of these male and female gametes. So the next thing we have to go for which one, that is mainly observed in sexual reproduction in a flowering plants. So you can see that is it is a typical flower, isn't it? It is a typical hibiscus flower. We have already learned how to draw, isn't it? So from this flower we all know that is what happened. We have seen one is a male flower and even that is female flowers pairs are present within the same flower. The reproductive parts of angiosperms are located in the flower. You can see also sepals, petals, stamens and even pistils. So you can directly say here what happened. You are having the ovary here. In the picture you can see that is ovary. Ovary is nothing but where you can see the formation of a fruit. And this ovary is nothing but you can say that is it is a female gametes. So the ovary and even what happened, the stigma, ovary, stigma, all these are called as which one, that is pistil. Pistil is nothing but female gametes, and you are having anthers and filament, they are called as stamen, and stamen they are going to call it as which one, that is male gametes. Stamen and pistil are the reproductive parts of a flower which contain the germ cell. So they are telling pistil, female gametes, and stamen are male gametes. They are nothing but the reproductive part of a flower. The flower may be unisexual. So hereby what happened, like papaya and watermelon. So thereby unisexual means a single sexual. When it contains either stamens or pistils, or bisexual when it contains both stamens and pistils. Stamen is the male reproductive part and the produces pollen grains that are yellowish in color. So hereby you can see here the structure of a stamen. When you just observe, or even you might have touched the kind of a which one, that is flowers. By that time when you just see this anthers and filament, what happen, a yellowish kind of a structures which sticks to your hand, isn't it? That is nothing but what happen, they are nothing but a male gametes of a flower. You have seen that yellowish powder that often sticks to our hand if we touch the stamen of a flower. Pistil is present in the center of a flower and is the female reproductive part. It has made up of three parts. So the pistil which is present here, they are telling it is made up of three parts. So what are those? The swollen bottom part is the ovary, middle elongated part is the style, and the terminal part which is sticky, they are going to call it as which one, that is stigma. You can easily see here the, that is which one, the swollen part they are going to call it as ovary, and the elongated part they are going to call it as style, and the topmost, the sticky part, they are going to call it as stigma. All these three consist of which one, that is pistil, and it is nothing but they are telling it is a female part. The ovary contains ovules and each ovule has an egg cell. As I already told, no, a female germ cell which has big enough, isn't it? So that is nothing but a female gametes they are telling. The male germ cell produced by the pollen grains fuses with the female gamete present in the ovule, and this fusion of the germ cell or fertilization gives up the zygote which is capable of growing into a new plants. So hereby what happens in the ovary, thereby what happens, you can see that is transformation of pollen grains. So hereby you can easily see here what happens in the picture you have seen, that is atypical flower. Here you are having that is ovary, and thereby what happen, you can see that is stigma, that is a topmost is what happens, female gamete, and it which is sticky, and the pollen grains are produced from which one, that is from the anthers, isn't it? Are yellow like structures, thereby what happen, they come and attaches to which one, that is a sticky part, and whenever it attaches to the sticky part, there what happen, through this kind of a pollen tube, what happen, it will start to enter, it will start to enter at the down, thereby it reaches to the ovary. You can see in this one, these kind of a pollen grains or a male gamete, what happen here, you can see that is in this picture, a male gamete through this one, it is entering through the pollen tube and reaches to the ovary, and in the ovary what happen, you can see that is female germ cells. So whenever this male and female germ cell fuse together, thereby what happen, they will be giving rise to which one, that is zygote. After fertilization, the zygote divides several times to form an embryo within the ovule. That is, within the embryo, what happens, or within the ovule, what happens? Embryo formation. That is, embryo is nothing but a zygote which starts to develop. The ovule develop to a tough coat and is gradually converted into a seed. So thereby what happens? A seed which is formed, a seed is nothing but a hard coat. The ovary grows rapidly and ripens to form a fruit. By the time of a fruit formation, what happens? You can see that is a rapid growth which you can see, and even what happens? The petals, sepals, stamens, tail and stigma which are present, what happens? May shrivel and even they start to fall off. So hereby what happens? Thus so there will be a formation of which one? That is fruit formation. And this picture is also very important. We must always learn this picture for a examination purpose. So next we have to go for which one? That is pollination. For the reproduction, the mode of reproduction type is pollination, in which one? That is flowers. Generally, pollen grains have a tough protective coat which prevent them from drying up. Since pollen grains are light, they can be carried away by wind and even that is water. Students, you can see that is one is self-pollination and even that is cross-pollination. That is transfer of pollens to the stigma of a same flower. That is transfer of a pollens of a same flower to the stigma of a same flower. Then we are going to call it as which one? That is self-pollination. But if a pollination takes place from one plant to another plant, not of different species here I am saying, it is of a same species. That is transfer of pollen grains from one plant to the another stigma, then we are going to call it as which one? That is cross pollination. So thus what happened? Pollination, which is very much essential in the types of reproduction, whether it can be in plants and even that is in animals. So here germination. What do you mean by the word germination? The seed contain the future plant or embryo which develops into a seedling under appropriate condition. This process they are going to call it as which one? That is germination. So germination also will be very much asked along with this picture. So you all have to learn this picture and even what do you mean by the word germination. So they are telling, so after the fruit formation what happens? You can see that is one more seed which contains and which develops into a new structure of a fruit, then they are going to call it as which one? That is germination. So in the next class we are going to learn about reproduction in the human beings. Thank you.